People in New Jersey didn't elect me governor to run a charm school. Aren't you relieved? So it would have been a good choice. They elected me, I believe, because they wanted someone to tell them the truth and who was going to go down there and clean up the mess that's been created by both parties over the last 10, 15 years. And that's what I'm doing. And sometimes it's pretty and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes my party likes me, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the Democrats like me. Well, that's a little less. Sometimes they don't. But nobody wonders where they stand with me. They know. They know what I think. They know how I'm going to do things. And when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I think to the extent that New Jersey has gotten attention in the last 9 months from around the country, that's why. It is not my charm and good looks. Okay, we know that. You can say it. It's fine. I know. I have a mirror in my house. It's okay. The point is, it's what we're doing. It's what we stand for. It's the principles we enunciate. And it's not that everybody agrees with every principle. It's that they're happy you have some. And that you're willing to stand for it. I am campaigning for Republican candidates around the country, almost exclusively candidates for governor. But every once in a while when I find somebody who is running for the House of Representatives that will not only improve our region but improve our country, I decide to come and add my voice to yours to say that this is a person who has earned your vote. And I think Charlie, over the course of his career, has earned your vote. And he knows. He knows what you're going to expect of him when he goes to Washington in January. He knows that. He knows that our country is in crisis and that we need to act differently. And he knows. He knows that that's going to mean making some tough choices. But I believe he's prepared to make them. And I think if you look at his record, it tells you that he's prepared to make them. And if you look at the record of his opponent, I think you know that he's not. So this is what we need to do. We need to work as hard as we can over the next 13 days to make sure that we do everything we can for Charlie to make sure that he's elected. That's why I'm here. I'm here because it matters who wins. That's what I wanted to come here to prove to you, is that you have cynics all around you every day who will say to you, oh, these guys, these women, they're all the same. It doesn't matter who we vote for, the stuff will, it just is all the same. That's wrong. It's not. If you don't think that New Jersey would have been different today if John Corzine had been reelected, then you haven't been paying attention. Some people might think it would be better. That's their choice. It would have been better for Pennsylvania, you're right. More jobs, we kept going to Pennsylvania, more people, all these people, I'm telling you, come home. I'm gonna come back to that theme. It's time to come home, all you people. Listen, it's a much easier commute to go to Long Beach Island. You don't have to come all the way from here when in the summer. Come to New Jersey, come back, please. Charlie doesn't endorse this portion of the program one bit. But hell, he invited me here, so this is what he gets now. But I know that New Jersey would be different, and I think for the worse, if John Corzine had been elected. And if you don't think it matters who you send to Congress, look at what's happened over the last 4 years since the Democrats took control of Congress, since Nancy Pelosi became the Speaker. It is an entirely different world. And so, for those people who like the world it has become, they're going to have their people to vote for. But for those of us who I think are the great majority of people in this region and in America, who believe that we've gotten off track and that we have to do better, Republicans must offer leadership based upon those 4 principles that Ronald Reagan spoke about 30 years ago, and which are still the bedrock of who our party is when we're at our best. So I urge you over the next 13 days, don't take anything for granted. Things look good for Charlie in the polls, and we'd much rather be ahead than behind, but it isn't in the bag. Okay? Don't take it for granted. You don't want to wake up on November 3rd and think I could have done a little more. could have done something better, could have worked a little harder. And you lose this guy as your representative. You don't want to wake up November 3rd and have that feeling. So, I'm here lastly today to urge you, please, to not think your obligation to Charlie is done today. Because when you work for him and you send him to Congress, you're working for your kids and your grandkids. To be able to have a Pennsylvania and an America that will provide them with opportunity for prosperity and happiness. And the track we're going on right now, I don't know that we could look our kids in the eye and guarantee them they're going to have a better Pennsylvania, a better New Jersey, or a better America than what we've had. It's our solemn obligation, in my view, to make that happen. Last generation did it for us. We need to do it for the next generation. With Charlie's leadership in Congress, I'm convinced we will be much further down that road to keeping that solemn obligation with our children and grandchildren than we will if he's not there. And I know that it'll make you proud. And you can't really ask for a whole heck of a lot more than someone who's principled and will make you proud. So please support him in 13 days. Please work over the next 13 days to make sure every vote gets out that can support him and put him over the top. And please know that on November 2nd, I'll be sitting at the governor's residence in Princeton, not far from here, watching these returns. And the best part of my recollection of this event, when I'm watching the returns that night, will be when the little scroll comes across the bottom and I see that big check mark next to Charlie's name. Knowing that we've all done what we needed to do, and knowing that we're going to send a good and principled leader back to the House of Representatives. Thank you very much.